And welcome back to Daytime here on Rogers TV. And if you're watching our live show on Thursday morning, we are about 7 or 8 minutes away from our daily trivia prize with a couple great DVDs on the line. Okay, so the trivia question coming up in just a little bit. This is great. I love these hometown success stories. Becky Regier is with us and the co-inventor of the HenkelHook. Rebecca, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Just tell us a bit about yourself and then how you came up with the HenkelHook.
Well, I am a mother and I have a little boy who's 8, and I came up with this idea when Miles Newts died 11 years ago. And
do you want to give a bit of background on that, please?
Absolutely. Miles Newts was a little boy. He was 10 years old. He was at school one day and he was bullied by 2 students and was found hanging in a bathroom on a coat hook. And he was rushed to the hospital, and he lived on life support for about 6 days. And his parents chose to take him off life support because there was no chance for him to recover. And when I read that story in the paper, I couldn't believe this happened to a little boy. And I wanted to do something to prevent it. So I said to my dad, why don't you make a coat hook that will collapse so that kids won't get hurt at school? And he's like, Becky, another company will come along that's better and faster, and I can't do that. I'm like, all right. So then a few years later, it happened again here in London, where a little girl was playing in a classroom with her friend, and the rest of the class had gone to an assembly, and the teacher realized these 2 little girls were missing and came back to the classroom and found one of them hanging on a hook. Now, thankfully, she wasn't seriously injured, but it still happened. It's still a danger, and I couldn't believe that the hooks hadn't been looked after. So I said, Dad, it's time. Step up to the plate. And then that's when we came up with these. Well,
we better show this off because it is something here.
Thank you. Well, what they do is they support about 26 pounds of weight, and the average weight of a junior kindergarten student is about 30 pounds.
Okay.
And after something is hung on here with too much weight, it will release. So whatever's hanging falls right off, and then it just snaps right back into place.
So again, so the weight will just, and it'll just let it go. I don't know. Oh, there we are, right there. Okay, so there it is right there. So this comes down.
Yes.
Right? So I want to make sure. There we go. So this comes down here. Right? And that's it. So,
yes.
So, and what was the pounds again there?
About 26 pounds, give or take a couple.
Right. So, where is this available, first off?
It's available through Children's Furniture Gallery, retail, as well as home hardware stores.
Right.
And we also have several distributors that are working for us as well that can distribute it through to school boards.
So, and then we have that's the full look in front of us. Is that what it would look like in a school or anywhere where you would need that safety of these hooks?
Exactly. Yep.
How did you go about it, getting it in these stores?
We called them and asked them.
Yeah?
Yeah, we went to visit Harold at the Children's Furniture Gallery and told him of our product, and he was like, okay, we'll put them in.
Right, just like that?
Just like that.
Now, is it in any schools yet, or?
Yeah, we have a few schools in London that use them. I'm working with the Thames Valley District School Board right now in hopes to get them a standardized coat hook in their school system. I toured one school, and they had 5 different types of coat hooks in the school. I noticed there were several broken coat hooks, several hooks that were in areas that were actually unsupervised. And one of the recommendations that came out of the coroner's inquest into Miles Newts' death was to remove coat hooks from washrooms in particular, as well as unsupervised areas.
Wow.
And so I understand that things get overlooked sometimes and people just don't realize. So,
are you the only one doing this, a collapsible hook?
There's 2 other types of collapsible or safety hooks available that are very expensive for the end user to purchase. One, and they're both made of stainless steel, and the least expensive out of the 2 to the end user will cost about $40. Ours is much less than that. We wanted to make a product that is very durable, and we wanted to make it affordable so that schools will use them and that kids will be protected.
Who's making these?
We manufacture them here in London. Right. There's a company that we use for the molding, and then we use a separate company that assembles them. Have you
thought about selling this company to one of the big people and letting them be rich?
Well, to me, it's not about becoming rich. It's about saving the lives of kids, protecting kids.
That's great. How does your dad feel now that this has all happened?
My dad, he's pretty pumped about it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So is this, if I can ask, is this your full-time job? I know you're a mom too, but this is your passion.
This
You're
is
out
my
there,
passion.
with the school boards, and are you getting orders regularly for these?
Yeah, we just had a great big order from the Chatham-Kent municipality, and they're putting them in all their facilities in the Chatham-Kent region. And the City of London has been on board with these hooks since day one, pretty much, and they use them in all the hockey arenas here in London.
How do you get? Do you need approval for something like this? Is there, is there a safety board, or what happens?
In order for this to become a standard, it would have to be stamped by the CSA,
Okay.
and that's quite costly for companies to do that. And right now, we're just not in a position to do that. There is no standard set for coat hooks at all, and this will become eventually one day the standard for coat hooks.
And you have different colors here. Is that available to schools? You can do it in any color you like, or the colors that you have available?
Yeah, if a school wanted a particular color, they would have to make a commitment in order to make a large quantity of it, because we just couldn't do 100 in one color. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. Thank you so much for being with
welcome.
us. And we want to get to the websites and phone numbers here. It's HenkelHook.com, HenkelHook.com, and the phone number is 519-777-3875. Do you run it all? Do you do the books? Do you do it all?
I do all the promoting. My dad handles the books.
Wow, that's great. Did you ever think that this would be a path in life for yourself?
No, I didn't.
No?
No. I always knew that I wanted to work with kids, and this is the perfect way for me to leave an impact for them.
Wow, good for you. Thank you so much for being here, Rebecca.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Relax just for a moment, because we're going to do trivia.